Shalom. I'd like to start by saying Kal Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect, pushing his word and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This lesson is going to be titled Scattered Israel. Because, Israel was scattered and still is scattered, but they're being brought back. Most High is bringing them back through the elect, right? Because that's who he's really dealing with. Because the rest of Israel they're gone. Like they're gone. They might as well just be the 2/3 at this point. But Most High is bringing them back, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact that they were scattered. We're going to talk about why they were scattered. What do they do to be scattered? So we're going to start off at Psalm 141 and 7. Our bones are scattered at the grave's mouth, as when one cutteth and cleaveth wood upon the earth. Right? So bones. So when scattered, the thing of bones being scattered at the grave's mouth. So when you go to a grave, right? Right? You go to a grave, you got a bone, you got the grave, got the bones, scattered in the grave. But it's saying as when one cutteth and cleaveth wood upon the earth. So when you cut wood, you got pieces and chips and a bunch of chunks here and there, small pieces, there pieces, there, here, there, little, right? So there's pieces everywhere. So that's how we're scattered. And that's how we're scattered. Right? We're scattered everywhere. Everywhere. Not just like one area, like we got one here. We're scattered everywhere. That's the analogy. We're scattered everywhere. Okay? So Jeremiah 3 and 13. Jeremiah 3 and 13. Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy power, and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree. And ye have not obeyed my voice, saith the Lord. So the strangers are the Gentiles. But you can see as Most High is talking, only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy power, and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree. And ye have not obeyed my voice, say the Lord. So you haven't been listening to the Most High, right? Most High's been talking to him. They've been basically being a rebellious child, right? They're not listening to the Most High. Most High's talking to them. They're like, I don't want to listen. Oh, you want us to do this? I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that, right? So we're starting to see why they got scattered. We're starting to see, okay, it's because you weren't listening. Okay, but what else? What exactly did they do? Okay? So we're going to get to that. Jeremiah 10 and 21. Jeremiah 10 and 21. For the pastors are become brutish. I'll read it again. Jeremiah 10 and 21. For the pastors are become brutish. So brutes are basically, I wrote this down real quick. The word brutish is for someone who's a brute, and a brute is someone who's dumb, acts like an animal, right? So animals, we know animals don't have laws, right? They're not, Most High didn't give the animals laws and law, statutes, and commandments, right? He gave it to Israel, right? So it says right here, for the pastors are become brutish, and have not sought out the Lord. So if you become brutish, you're acting like an animal, that means you don't have the law, statutes, and commandments, right? If you don't have the law, statutes, and commandments, the reason why that happens is because you turn from the Most High. So he's not dealing with you in that sense. You don't have the law, statutes, commandments according to the Most High, right? According to yourself, but not the Most High, right? Continue on that. And have not sought the Lord. Therefore they shall not prosper, and all their flocks shall be scattered. So these pastors, we even talk about the pastors, people that are so-called leading the flock, so it's pastors in these churches saying that, the Most High is dealing with them, Well, first of all, you can see that these guys have jumbo jets, $1 million houses, right? Right, and Most High says right here, for the pastors are become brutish. So they become brutish. They're acting like animals. They're not moving off of the laws of the Most High. So they're liars. They're snakes. They're snake charmers. You can't trust them. You can't trust them at all. Okay? And have not sought out the Lord. So they never sought out the Lord. These guys that you think that are saying, oh, yeah, God and so-called Jesus Christ, you think they're praying to the Most High, but they're not. They're praying to someone else, not the Most High. Right? So we're going to go to Jeremiah 23:2. We're going to read... Nope, it's not okay. We're going to read Jeremiah 23:2. Jeremiah 23:2. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock, and have driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, saith the Lord. Right? So, these pastors are scattering the flocks because, well, one, they're scattering the flocks because they don't have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Most High. So whatever they're saying, and when the Most High says he scattered the flocks, he's scattering the flocks away from the Most High. So these people are still like coming to their sermons, clapping and dancing and giving them the money in the collection plate. They're still coming to these things, but these pastors are scattering them, separating them from the Most High, right? Because they're lying. They're not speaking to the words of the Most High. Because they haven't sought out the Most High. So if they haven't sought out the Most High, they don't have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Most High. They don't have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Most High. They have it. They basically they're being wicked, right? So, it's just that simple, right? These guys, and it's not even just these pastors in the churches. You also got men that were in the truth that sold out, for some money, and now there's like they were probably saying Yahweh Shai before, and now they're saying Christ and Jesus, and and they're gathering people just like these pastors. They're pastors too. You want the same thing, but they're gathering people, Israelites, and leading them away from the Most High by telling them lies, and they know the truth. It's even worse. They know the truth, and they're leading people away. Like you guys don't understand. The Most High is gonna mess you up. He's really gonna mess you up. You're not gonna see it coming. The crazy part is that, especially the ones that are in the truth, like you know this, you know this, and you're still doing what you're doing. You don't have you don't have to fear the Most High, obviously, because the fear of the Most High gives you knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So, anyways, it's crazy. It's crazy just to even try and think about that. So the last scripture is Exodus 32. It's going to explain what happened, why this all happened, where it started. Exodus 32 and 30. Okay, Exodus 32 and 30. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses said unto the people, really you can read this whole chapter. You can read from like the beginning of this chapter and I'll explain what I'm talking about. But we're going to start at 30. Exodus 30, 32, and 30. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses said unto the people, Ye have sinned a great sin, and now I will go up unto the Lord. Peradventure I shall make an atonement for your sin. And Moses returned. So the sin is that they molted a golden calf, right? They're coming from Israel. The Most High saved them from Israel, and they molted a golden calf to do sacrifices and offerings and things like that. And Moses, back on 31, and Moses returned unto the Lord and said, Oh, these people have sinned a great sin and have made them gods of gold. So you already know how the Most High feels about gods of gold. First of all, the Most High is the only God. Okay? We're talking about making gods of gold, right? Abominations, right? The Most High is not with that. Verse 32, Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me. So Moses is saying, if you don't forgive their sin, just blot me. Don't blot them. Right? If you don't forgive, just blot me out. Like he's like, I'm saying, blot me. Right? Don't punish them, punish me. So righteous. Right? Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book which thou hast written. And the Lord said unto Moses, Whosoever hath sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book. So Moses is like, it doesn't, that like, and we're going to blot whoever has sinned against me, not you, Moses. Therefore now go, lead the people unto the place of which I have spoken unto thee. Behold, my angels shall go before thee, nevertheless in the day when I will visit their sin upon them. And the Lord plagued the people because they made the calf which Aaron made. So the Most High, took these people, took Israel out of Egypt, saved them with a chariot, destroyed Pharaoh and his army, brought them in the wilderness. He's taking them to the land. Meanwhile, while they're in the wilderness, they still did a bunch of wickedness, and you can read more into that. They did a bunch of wickedness, like all the things you can think of. But one of the things that they did was they molted a golden calf. And you already know how the Most High feels about idols, right? That's what they did. They created an idol. After everything that they went through, everything that the Most High did for them, and he went and molted a golden calf and a golden idol. He's like, yeah, I'm scattering you guys. You guys don't listen, right? You just said simple. So that's why that's part of the reason why. There's more to it, but that's one reason why we're scattered, right? And through the elect, the elect are being brought back, right? And Israel will be brought back through the elect. Anyways, that's the point. I end off by saying, Kal Halal Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and to the hopeful elect pushing his word and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Death and destruction to his wicked kingdom, and 2/3 as well. Kwam Yasharallah, Babal, Shalom.